Well, 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 well. Let me just make sure my audio here is on before I get too far. What is going on here? I don't know why my YouTube's doing this. Okay, can you just go? Yeah, okay. Audio is on. Whew, what a race. Me and Abutre were absolutely just like locked in together.
Yeah, okay.
That was crazy. Also, I can see the chat now. Yeah, Carousel P3 overtake was absolutely nuts. We're going to take a look here at the replay. There's a few passes I made that I was pretty pleased with. I also want to apologize to Viking. The clip will speak for itself. I wasn't the one that pushed you off. Anyways. Nice rolling start here. Let's just see. Let's just watch the first section here. I started in the corner. How bullshit's that? Brutal. Coming into turn one. Taking it slow, nice line. Already catching Magoo. Quickly pulling away from Edward. Not really happy with my starting position of 6th place. Kind of screwed myself last week. I actually finished P8, but luckily 2 people that finished ahead of me last week weren't racing tonight, so I got to start in P6, including my teammate, unfortunately, Mower. So I had to attack the Red Bull Ring, represent Team FedEx all by myself, but I think we made the most of it. Started in 6th, finished in 3rd. Shout out to whoever's watching. Shout out to whoever dropped a like. Appreciate it. So I had a shit ton of speed coming out of here. Tried to get on the outside of Scott, Mr. Magoo, and then I was like, alright, just hang out behind Viking, but then I remembered, yeah, see? Wasn't my fault! He told me, be careful, Ben. I was like, I just kept my mouth shut, but I could have bumped them, but they don't like us to bump draft. I don't know. That was a bad view. I promise it wasn't me. I'm very careful. We'll do this cam, yeah. See, I was trying to follow my lane, but this beetle is maybe a little bit bigger than expected. Maybe I shouldn't have put my nose out there. Okay, I'll take blame for that. What's up, Johnny? Yes, sir! And then me and Scott both go off. Dumbasses. At least I didn't go off quite as bad as him. And these guys are battling pretty good up there. Won't get into the back of DS a bit. It's gonna blow up in my face one day, but I got a really bad habit with following close. I'm gonna kill somebody one of these days. Yeah, see, and I think Edward expected me to... Yeah, I thought that was my position to take. I thought he had to leave me room, right? I'm ahead of him. I'm ahead of the rear tire, so when it happened, no words were exchanged. I know it sucks. Personally, though, I don't know. It's hard to take fault for that because I was fully beside him, and he just didn't. Unfortunately, he has to leave me space there. Yeah, he can't just close me off, right? And like I tuck in absolutely as close as possible. But hey, if they want to take points away from me for passing when I'm entitled to it, I guess they can do that. This was a hell of a race, so I had a lot of fun. Not sure when I passed DS. Oh, I get him on the straight. Oh, this was a fire straight for me, dude. I got a great exit. really good exit out of there. I didn't expect to get him so quickly. And this is another one where, anyways, I feel like I was entitled to space, and then they kind of close in on me like, hey, don't pass me. But unfortunately, with racing, you have to kind of swallow your pride. If they've made the position, you don't get a choice. You have to leave them room. See, very big respects there by Viking. Left me tons of room. See, too wide. Very tidy. Yeah, but you know what, Johnny? I think I would have been able to catch DS. Or sorry, not DS. I would have been able to catch Driver because I was only 13 seconds behind Driver when we finished. So if I didn't spin, I might have been able to catch up to Driver. Because think about all the times I was stuck behind a Butray. Because being fast on this track's one thing, but if you can't find a spot to pass, you're screwed. And I would eventually, throughout the entire 6-minute lap, I would find a spot to pass, and then a Butray just fucking steps on the throttle on the straight. God damn, that Corvette is speedy. Oh, that's called a detour. Ultimately, though, I am glad that I spun. That battle with the Butray was absolutely top tier, which we'll try and find now. I think for the most part here, yeah, okay. So that's where he passed me on the straight then. Yeah. Oh, getting passed on the straight's the worst. Alright, let's get into this battle though. We're not gonna watch the whole thing obviously, but we'll watch a little bit. I'm attacking him though. It was funny, he was telling me on the mic, he's like, Banana Man, we're losing time. We're losing time because of this. I told him, I was like, man, I only got one way to race. If you're in front of me, I'm trying to pass. I did hit a 637 on mediums when I was practicing, but that was obviously there's nobody else around. It was just me and the track. But to do that in a race, man, he just... Once he gets out front, he's so consistent on his fast laps. He just takes off, because me and Abutray are back here losing tenths, battling each other. We're every corner we're losing time because we're battling each other. I don't think much exciting happened. Oh, I did pass him at some point. When did I pass him? Oh, this was it. I'm glad I went back, because this was crazy. This whole... Let's start it from here. This whole too wide sequence, absolutely messed up. What a trash camera angle, dude. I gotta restart that because I want to get a clip. But goddamn, that was horrible. I think it's the same set. Dude, that was absolutely nuts. Sorry, I wasn't talking because I was being silent for the clip, so I could clip it. Like, okay, let's watch the. Let's see, how long were we too wide for? Let's turn on. Okay, so we're at 1650, we'll say 1655. Oh, and we're rubbing, dude. But everybody's leaving room. I was gonna let him have this corner up here so you can see I start to let off. But he also lets off and leaves me a lane on the outside. Okay, so that was about 45 seconds. Sorry, about 30 seconds. We fall back in line, giving him no room at all. We're literally locked. Bumpers are locked. I like a wide entry into the carousel. I got a really good exit. He kind of did a little wait. And get beside him here. He's so respectful leaving me the lane on the outside. Like, you can't... The only reason I'm able to do this is because of the amount of respect that happens during these races. And in classic BANANAMAN form, I make the overtake and instantly mess up the next corner. But luckily, I was able to use my my very nimble little Volkswagen to stay ahead of him up until... Oh my god, this straight was the worst! Until the pit lane. All good. So what happened actually, if you look at my fuel, I'm almost full. I think I took 3.5 laps. Yeah, I think I took 3.5 laps. Uh-oh. He's under 3/4, dude. And the reason I went 3.5 laps is because I've been consistently using 1.1 laps worth of fuel, which makes no sense. They need to reevaluate how this game maps fuel because I'm using over anyways. That's what did it for me at the end. He couldn't keep up on the straight because he ran out of fuel. But we'll find that man. I was locked on him the whole time. It was a nice double pass we made too on slap shift here. We kind of bullied him a little bit, honestly. Me and Abutre, we were moving as a unit though, dude. This move by Abutre? Suicide! I don't know how he got away with it. Well, I know how we got away with it. Slap shift was the savior there. Because if slap shift didn't give Abutre room, I would have went straight into 3rd place. So actually, big shout out slap shift for giving him the room there. Oh, I hit 5K? Oh, let's go. Also, very close. Very, very close to dying here. We're whipping, dude. 7th gear. I'm almost at 300 kilometers an hour. And I'm like, come on, let's turn in, let's turn in. They're trying in with the switchback, but man, that Corvette, if it does 2 things right, it picks up and goes when you put on the throttle, and it has a crazy top end. But I'm able to be far more nimble than him. You can see on every corner, I'm just right on his tail. I'm able to just hit my lines perfectly. Peep the Canadian Tire sticker. If there's one corner too that I always get a good exit on, it's this next right-hander. very confident on this corner. He got a good exit on this one too. You gotta hit it wide, and you gotta start accelerating way before the apex. It's a good job of you, Trick. That was a good one. I love the lights on this Beetle. It's dope. Dope AF. And we're coming up on the carousel, another minute or so, maybe 40 seconds. That whole sequence we were side by side though, between the first bit and the second bit, it had to have been over 2 minutes. Combined, obviously not straight, but... So again, I'm trying to hit the switch back here, but he keeps it tucked. Keeps it very tucked. Oh, here it is. Awesome. Really, really awesome race. What a fun way to end the season, man. I don't think I could ask for a better race. Obviously, yeah, coming in first, coming in second would be fun. I'm incredibly pleased with third place. Absolutely can't wait for the next season. I need a better camera angle, please. First of all, let me turn off the race stats so I can get a quick little clip of Reno. Man, I'll tell you what, it felt faster than it looked. Doesn't look like I... Let me get the first person cam, because dude, I felt like I came out of that like a fucking rocket ship. Later! Later, nerd! Man, what an incredible race. I'm so grateful for these guys I race with. I'm grateful for the guys watching the stream. What's up, Johnny? Thank you for the support the whole season. Made it way more fun having people watching. I get 2 viewers. I think Austin was supposed to watch tonight. I don't know, Austin, if you're watching, let me know. But I think it's just me and Johnny. I am watching my own stream. Gotta pad the stats somehow. One thing I will show you before I end the stream is one of my new liveries I made for the Super Formula. Friggin' Home Depot, bud. I'm racing these on Thursday. This thing kind of sounds like shit. Can you guys hear that? It's all fucking rattly. Anywho, I got one more livery to show you. It looks like a Hot Wheel. Yeah, that's a nice one. Ooh! This is a Roadster shop. Let's take a listen. Ugh. God damn, that sounds pleasing. Look at this thing, dude. Ooh! New season. So we're doing... Let me pull up the Discord. Yeah, so we're doing, multi-class for 4 weeks. We're doing a little mini series. So the last time they ran a multi-class series, we got teams of two. One guy obviously in a group, well, not obviously, but one guy's going to be, I believe, in a group 3, and the other guy's going to be in one of the new hypercars. Let me see if I actually own one of those. I don't think I do. I think it's group 3 and then hypercars. Not manufacturer. What am I looking for? Category. That's right. Yeah, group 1. Okay, I do not own one, so let's go buy one. But yeah, we're doing 4 works multi-class, so it's mixed grid. So there'll be group 3 cars and group 1 cars on the grid at the same time. I actually don't know what manufacturers. I think there's a Honda one. I think. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to this game really. I just play it. God damn it! Now I gotta look it up. Okay, I promise it's not that big of a deal. Info. Where's the info? Pure hyper. That's what we're after. BMW, Ferrari, Peugeot, and Porsche. I'm a big BMW stan when it comes to hypercars. I think they look sick. So I think that's what we're going to have to use. They got a couple little cool little Beamers in the game. Little M3, Z4. Oh, fucking safety car. This is a dope car, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But yeah, after the mini series, there it is. That's what it sounds like. So I'm hoping to get in one of these. Group 3's fun, but oh fuck. I'd be going fast in one of these bitches. Okay, let me get a dynamic scene, please. Yeah, that's a dynamic scene, alright. Alright, appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for coming along for the ride this whole season. Super fun. I'm gonna keep streaming Tuesdays. I think that that mini series, I don't know, it might start next week, might be a break in between, but I'll probably stream every Tuesday that we're racing anyways. Peace.